valiant men and women who give of themselves to our community. This all started in 1914 when a group of concerned residents in the village of Richboro gathered together to charter a fire company to serve the area. They called it Richboro Fire Company No. 1. 100 years later, this company has grown into the Northampton Township Volunteer Fire Company, serving a population of over 40,000 people. Besides fighting fires, our volunteer firefighters continue their training in addition to the 100 hours of training in order to be a firefighter. They are responsible for emergency medical training, hazard material training, marine rescues, and many, many more. They also have a group of members who are the fire police, who provide scene security and access control in all types of emergency incidents. The Northampton Volunteer Fire Company and our day firefighters show dedication and selflessness that has kept our community safe. They are heroes, willing to make personal sacrifice for the benefit of us. We are honored, gentlemen and ladies, that you are here tonight to be congratulated for the years of service this organization has given to our community. I would now like to introduce Adam Selisker, our fire chief, and Matt Sklodowski, our president. In recognition of the Northampton Township Volunteer Fire Company's 100 years of service to the community. Whereas the Northampton Township Volunteer Fire Company began when a group of concerned citizens gathered in 1914 to charter a fire company to serve Northampton Township. For the past 100 years, the Northampton Township Volunteer Fire Company has performed a vital public service and are recognized as heroic individuals who define the true meaning of valor and selflessness. Whereas all Northampton residents and visitors benefit from the noble efforts of the Northampton Township Volunteer Fire Company put forth every time they answer the alarm and responding to emergencies, bringing each of us a greater sense of security, knowing they are well prepared to battle blazes, large and small, and the devastation they can bring. Whereas facing immeasurable risks every time they answer a call, the Northampton Township Volunteer Fire Company demonstrates the highest degree of professionalism and concern for their fellow citizens, always ready and willing to respond to emergencies in the community. And whereas, while the dangers of each incident are unknown, the Northampton Township Volunteer Fire Company exemplifies the highest level of public service, both through their courage and their commitment to the highest standards of professionalism maintained through frequent training and retraining. Whereas the Board of Supervisors of Northampton Township wishes to acknowledge and thank the Northampton Township Volunteer Fire Company for 100 years of outstanding service to the community. On this 28th day of May, we hereby gratefully acknowledge the efforts of the Northampton Township Volunteer Fire Company for their selfless service to the community. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Let's get over here.
We're over here now. We want to go. Kim, where'd you go?
We got her. Cheeseburger. She's back with the Marines.
There goes the one. Would you put that back up? Now I would like to call George Komelasky down to the mic, please.
And the Lieutenant Governor, our own native son, Jim Cawley, couldn't be with us tonight, but both have forwarded letters and commendations to our firefighters. I won't read the full letter, but in part the letter from the Governor says, I commend the members of Northampton Township Volunteer Fire Company for their efforts in answering citizens' calls for help, comforting those in need, risking their lives in unpredictable situations and disasters. Firefighters exemplify a spirit of service and sacrifice, and their courage is appreciated more than can possibly be expressed in words. On behalf of all Pennsylvanians, Governor Corbett, I congratulate all past and present firefighters, volunteers, and supporters of Northampton Township Volunteer Fire Company for 100 years of service to the citizens of the Commonwealth. Accept my best wishes for continued success, Governor Tom Corbett. Lieutenant Governor has a few more words. He, I guess, has more time on his hands, so he was able to write. But I think the feeling and the sense that we have both from the Governor and the Lieutenant Governor are the same. And I think for Lieutenant Governor Cawley, being one of our own native sons from Northampton, or from Bucks County, I think he has a real sense of what it means to have volunteer firefighters and the way they serve. I won't read everything that he has put into his proclamation, but there is a quote that he puts in here, and I think it's very nice to add. On this momentous occasion, I share the words of Frederick G.W. Fenn, who said, "But sound aloud the praises and give the victor crown to our noble-hearted firemen who fear not danger's frown." On behalf of the Pennsylvanians, I'm honored to have this opportunity to express my personal thanks to the members of the Northampton Township Volunteer Fire Company for going above and beyond the call of duty to keep the citizens of your community out of harm's way. Lieutenant Governor James Cawley.
Now I would like to call up our Honorable Senator Tommy Tomlinson, Robert Tomlinson.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's indeed an honor and privilege for me to be here and present this citation. And as I did and Scott Petrie did in our banquet, I would like to read just a few paragraphs because many of the words that you heard from the other citations are incorporated in this one, but I still think we can't say this enough times. We can't thank these ladies and gentlemen enough for the service that they give this country. Whereas Northampton Township Volunteer Fire Company is being honored upon the momentous occasion of its 100th anniversary during an event held in May. Whereas the well-being of the citizens of this Commonwealth is safeguarded by the men and women who staff the fire service units throughout Pennsylvania, serving around the clock every day of the year with unwavering commitment and dedication. They are routinely called upon to perform extraordinary acts which are often taken for granted despite risks that so regularly attend the discharge of their duties. Much of what their chairwoman said is also incorporated in this. And then this ends with, now for the Senate of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania congratulates the Northampton Township Fire Service for its commitment and recommitment to itself to the ideals and traditions which have sustained it for 100 years. Offers best wishes for continued success. It moves forward throughout the threshold for excellence. I'm very happy to present this to you again. I'd like to also point out the training that these professionals go through. You have a wonderful system here in Northampton. You have a hybrid system of professional and volunteers. It's built on the backbone of volunteers. And the professionalism for which they have is extraordinary. These aren't fires, they're chemical events. Your rugs, your carpets, things that are in your house are made of chemicals. And when they're ignited, these gentlemen and these ladies have to fight a chemical fire, which is extraordinarily dangerous. And they do it with such professionalism. Of course, not only do they save property, but they save lives. Not only do they save our communities, but they save the lives of the people in those communities. So it's with great recognition, with great accomplishments that they have, that I'm happy today to present this citation to recognize their extraordinary efforts on our behalf. So, and in fact, I'll steal another quote that de Tocqueville said about this country. It's not necessarily the political leaders, it's not necessarily the professionals, but it's the volunteerism of the people. What made America great? De Tocqueville came over to this country from France to say, what makes this country exceptional? And he said, the people are exceptional. They volunteer, they're involved in their communities, they build their communities, they love their communities, they love their neighbors. This exemplifies the greatness of this country. You're very, very lucky in this community to have such a professional group. Congratulations, and I want to congratulate. And it's not true I was at the 100, the very first anniversary. But it is true that we talked about it, we want to be at the 200th anniversary. So with a little bit of luck, we'll get another one. But again, you are very, very fortunate in this community. My Senate district represents a lot of different communities. This is one of the outstanding fire companies that we have serving us. Congratulations.